Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain. We have a lot to talk about this morning, but first, let's get you updated with your first alert forecast. Meteorologist Jill Gilardi is here. Hey, Jill, how was your weekend? I miss ya.
I'm back, and it's good to be back. And
Good.
excuse me. I guess I got the blue memo.
You did.
Somehow, you know, it just works out that way.
I sent it via Bluebird.
Bluebird. They're around and they're nesting right now. A lot of birds chirping this morning, earlier and earlier it seems. And we have been watching out there some of that fog and the visibility. Okay, it could be a lot worse. We don't have a dense fog advisory, things like that, but certainly it is limited in some areas. You go down, especially to the south and east of Hartford, that's where you're starting to see some of that thicker fog or that cloud on the ground. Now, as we take a look at additional clouds that are higher up, we have some scattered clouds moving around, but the rain is over and done with. So there's some good news there. And temperatures are a lot warmer this morning than they were yesterday morning. We're starting off in the upper 40s inland and then low 50s as you head down to the shoreline. So we are certainly above the normal low of 41 degrees, and we are going to soar above the normal high of about, you know, in the mid 60s. So yeah, we're doing pretty good today. Temperatures are going to be climbing into the 70s. We're going to get more sunshine. The forecast for, you know, if you have the day off, working in the yard, looking fantastic. Even if you don't have the day off, but later on you do, and depending on your hours, it is looking very nice out there. So temperatures are going to be very pleasant. Now there will be a spread in those numbers as we take a look town by town at the highs. 76 in New Milford. So we're going to be significantly warmer than we were yesterday, about 20 degrees warmer. Highs in Windsor, 78 degrees, so significantly above the normal mark. And we're going to enjoy those 70s across the entire state. Now, with the water being a little bit cooler, okay, I lied. Not everyone will get into the 70s, but you're still going to enjoy a beautiful day nonetheless along the shoreline with upper 60s for folks anywhere from Old Saybrook and points eastward. So we are going to be talking about the temperatures going back downwards again. We'll time that out for you and talk about when our next chance for rain is coming up a little bit later. Tracey.
All right, let's take a look at the roads, Jill, this morning. Only one first alert to tell you about in your first alert traffic, and that was some heavy congestion that is seeming to clear here in Hartford on I-84 eastbound. Just be careful if you're heading out. It may slow you down a little bit, but it looks like it's starting to ease up. No other reports to tell you about, but as soon as it does, we'll let you know right here on Eyewitness News on the Wax. I'm Tracey McCain with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers. Well, this morning we're learning more about plans to lay Pope Francis to rest. Public viewing of the Pope will begin tomorrow, and his funeral is set for Saturday. It will begin at 4 in the morning here, which is the same as 10 in the morning in the Vatican. Here you can see a live look at the Vatican as the Pope lies in rest. He will be buried in a tomb in Rome. Happening now, flags across our state will fly at half-staff in honor of the late Pope Francis, and flags will remain lowered until the sunset of the day the Pope is buried. Stay with us as we continue to follow how the state and the world is remembering Pope Francis. Here in your local headlines today, Hartford schools are searching for their next leader, and you might have until just midnight to submit an online survey. The decision could have a big impact on your kids. Applications for the superintendent position will then happen on Friday. The decision will fall on the hands of the members of the Board of Education. Well, today, 2 state lawmakers start their campaign to lower your electric rates. They will discuss why they believe electric costs in our state have increased so much and lay out their plan to reduce those bills. Lawmakers say the event also gives you an opportunity to ask important questions about your electric rates. That meeting will be held today at the New Canaan Library at 6:30. Also today, a jury will continue to deliberate in the Jose Morales murder trial. Morales testified last week he saw 2 men broke into Christine Holloway's apartment, kill her, and kidnap their young daughter. Prosecutors say that doesn't match the evidence that they presented in front of the court. We'll have updates on air and online all day, and as soon as a jury has a verdict, you'll be the first to know. Well, just hours from now, the Waterbury stepmother, who police say held her stepson captive in a tiny room for more than 20 years, will walk into a courtroom again. Your reporter Roger Susannon is in Waterbury, breaking down the latest changes to this case.
This case has certainly taken a lot of twists and turns recently, but the biggest bombshell since the last court appearance is that now the victim is publicly calling out his own stepmother for alleged abuse. Last week, the victim, who only wants to be identified as S, issued a statement writing in part, "I am a survivor of more than 20 years of captivity and domestic abuse. I was held prisoner in my home from the time I was taken out of the 4th grade at age 11 until 2 months ago at age 31. I am speaking out to begin the process of reclaiming my life and to have my say in how my story is told." Police say Kimberly Sullivan imprisoned her stepson inside a tiny room on the brink of starvation for more than 2 decades, and that S only escaped after intentionally setting a fire inside his own bedroom. But Sullivan, through her attorney, has consistently denied committing any crimes and claims that the victim's words are just an unsavory tactic filled with half-lies and distorted facts. Kimberly Sullivan's attorneys also claim that the victim's public statements are full of half-truths and could unfairly prejudice a potential jury. Prosecutors, by the way, no surprise, they strongly disagree with that assessment. We're going to have a big crew in the courtroom today, and we'll let you know exactly what plays out. Reporting in Waterbury, I'm your reporter, Roger Susannon, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, today, opening statements are set to begin in the second murder trial of Karen Reed. She is accused of killing her boyfriend, who was a Boston police officer. Her first trial ended in a mistrial after jurors could not come to a unanimous verdict. This trial is expected to last 6 to 8 weeks. Well, right now, investors are hoping the stock market rebounds as stocks took another tumble Monday. You can see the closing board on your screen right now. It never budged out of the red. And it comes as the value of the U.S. dollar fell more than 1% at its lowest level in 3 years. The market could have a big impact on your retirement plans, including your 401ks. Right now, look at the Asian markets, where shares are trading with mixed results as skepticism about investing in the United States grows. As the value of the U.S. dollar shrinks, there are concerns that it could lead global investors to turn to Asian markets instead of U.S. ones. Well, Channel 3 is your home for the UConn Huskies, and the UConn baseball team is on a run, winning 8 straight games. Tonight, they face UMass at Duncan Park in Hartford. Let's get out to your reporter, Marcy Jones, live at Duncan Park. And Marcy, the Huskies are on a roll and just in time as they face this old foe.
They sure are, guys. Forget peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I want a 2-foot-long chili dog or the meatloaf sandwich on a donut. Both are which available on the menu. We're going to be trying some of the food, talking about the awesome activities. Coming up on Great Day at 9A, but all eyes are on the Huskies tonight. We know that this matchup is really historic between UConn and UMass, as the series has been going on since the year 1900. UConn is coming off a 3-game sweep against Seton Hall, winning each game in dramatic fashion. Tonight, they'll see if they can keep the magic going. UConn has won the last 9 times they've faced UMass. Another W should not be out of reach, considering since the opening of the park, the Huskies have a winning record there. And again, the game starts at 6:30 tonight. Make sure you stay with us right here on Channel 3. The crew is coming down to join me. We're going to be on a Great Day at 9A, and we'll see you in just about half an hour to talk more food, fan info, and of course, all the awesome activities you can enjoy with the family and friends. Sending it back to you.
All right, thank you, Marcy. Of course, you can watch the game right here on Channel 3. Our coverage starts immediately following Eyewitness News at 6. Well, there are new winners of the Boston Marathon. Kenyan runners Sharon Laketti and John Career pulled off thrilling wins. Laketti shattered the women's course record, beating the 2-time defending champion, and she surged away at the end of the course, crossed the finish line at 2 hours, 17 minutes, 22 seconds. In the men's race, Career won a commanding victory in a time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, 45 seconds. He joins his brother as Boston Marathon champion. The pair are the first relatives to ever win the race.
Well, that is That is very impressive, like the forecast for this afternoon. But, you know, looking outside this morning, you're like, I don't know about that, Jill. It's looking pretty gloomy. And it is starting off with fog, visibility not the greatest, certainly in Chester, below a mile there. And you're not talking about fantastic viewing conditions. So just allow a little extra travel time if you could encounter some of that fog. But it is mild already. We're starting off in the 40s inland and 50s. And look at where we're headed this afternoon. Winds are locked to a high of 76 degrees there with improving sky conditions. So that fog this morning, even in New London, will turn into some sunshine with highs a little cooler along the shoreline, but still beautiful in the 60s. So we'll talk about how long this warmth is going to last coming up a little bit later in your First Alert forecast. Trace?